All right, so get ready to like jump into a time machine, basically. We're going to rewind back to 1998, dial-up internet. Those are the days. MTV was like the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what else screams 1998?
What?
Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. I mean, come on. You remember that
Oh,
one.
absolutely. It instantly takes you back, right?
Right. And it's funny because we think of it as this like classic, iconic song. But someone sent in this really in-depth analysis of it, and it made me realize there's like a whole other layer to why this song was such a phenomenon.
Yeah, it's more than just a catchy song. It's really a moment in time, you know? Like, to really get it, we got to think about what was going on in the late 90s.
Okay, yeah, so paint the picture for us.
Well, grunge was kind of fading out. Boy bands were, well, they were huge. But there was this feeling that pop music was like ready for something different, something new.
Like it was just waiting for like an explosion or something.
Totally. And Baby One More Time was that explosion.
Oh.
The music was different. Those driving beats, those hooks. Nobody was doing that before. And then you had Britney, this teenager, and she had this way of feeling relatable, but also like someone you wanted to be.
And speaking of Britney, there was something in the analysis about the lyrics that I thought was really interesting. You know that line, "My loneliness is killing me"?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've all belted that out at karaoke or in the car or whatever.
At some point, right.
But apparently that line, it really meant something to Britney, like personally.
Yeah, it's true. And it makes you think, she was, what, 16 when she recorded that? Thrown into this crazy world of fame. And suddenly those lyrics, they become this little window into what that was really like for her.
Wow, yeah.
That vulnerability, that honesty, that's what people connected with, I think.
It's like we might not all be pop stars, but that feeling of wanting something more, feeling a little lost, I don't know, that's universal.
It really is. And that's why I think Baby One More Time, it resonated with people on this whole other level.
And it's kind of crazy how much that song like exploded, right?
Oh,
like,
totally.
It wasn't just a hit. It was like the song that changed everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It like created a whole new rule book for pop music.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, the music video, those outfits, the dance moves, and like mixing that with these deeper emotions we were talking about. It's like everything that came after, it all kind of goes back to that.
It's true. I never even thought about it like that, but it's like every pop star since then, there's a little bit of Baby One More Time in there somewhere.
For sure. Think about Christina Aguilera, Jessica Simpson, even groups like Destiny's Child that came right after Britney, and they were all doing similar stuff, you know?
Yeah. Like they saw what worked and kind of ran with it.
Exactly. And it's not just them. His analysis even mentions how artists like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande, like huge stars now, still you can see that Baby One More Time influence in what they do.
It's crazy how one song can have that kind of impact.
It's true. And one thing that's really interesting to me is how Baby One More Time came out right when the internet was starting to take off.
Oh, totally.
Like all of a sudden fans could connect with each other in ways they never could before, sharing their love for Britney, her music, everything.
It's true. It feels like she was one of the first artists who had those like massive dedicated fandoms.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves though, there was something else in this analysis that really blew my mind. Apparently the music video, it was almost totally different.
Right. It's wild. Imagine Baby One More Time, but instead of the school thing, it's leather jackets and a diner.
Whoa, wait, really?
Yeah, that was the original idea.
Wow. That's like a completely different vibe. Why the change though?
It's tough to say for sure, but the schoolgirl thing, it fit with what was happening then, you know? It captured that like youthful energy, the feeling of wanting more that teenagers especially feel so strongly.
Yeah, totally. Okay, but we can't talk about Baby One More Time without talking about the guy who wrote it, Max Martin, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that song wasn't just huge for Britney. It launched his whole career.
Right. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing. It's not just about one song or one artist. It's like everything is connected. Max Martin goes on to write and produce hits for like everyone. Backstreet Boys, Katy Perry, even The Weeknd.
It's wild, right? Like we're talking about one song, but it's like fashion, music videos, even other people's careers. Everything changed.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, what makes a song have that kind of impact? Like, yeah, it was a huge hit, but it also like changed the way we see pop music.
It's bigger than just the song, right?
Yeah, for sure. And this analysis you sent, it actually ends on a really interesting question. It asks, what impact did Baby One More Time have on your life?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Honestly, I remember hearing that song and it was like she was singing about my life,
Yeah.
And that feeling of like someone else gets it, that was huge.
That's what's so powerful about music, though, right? It connects with us. So maybe for some people, Baby One More Time was the song playing at their school dance, or I don't know, maybe it reminds them of their first crush.
It's like everyone has their own Baby One More Time story.
Exactly. So next time you hear it, maybe it's in the grocery store, or you're like clicking around online and the video pops up. Really listen to it. Think about 1998, everything that's happened since, and yeah, what it means to you now. It's a piece of music history.
And like we've been saying this whole time, it's way more than just a catchy song. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, everyone, that's our deep dive on Baby One More Time.